Okay, waiting for the others. You're welcome, Precious Ibabuchi Favor. Okay, so we're trying to solve this problem and we're almost done. You can see how far we went. If you go through the questions that were sent on the platform, you notice number 1A is without using mathematical table or calculators, simplify 3 whole number 4 over 9 divided by, here's what you have in brackets, 5 whole number 1 over 3 minus 2 whole number 3 over 4, close the bracket, then you have plus 5 whole number 9 over 10, like you can see. And so the first step, we have to make everything there single fractions. 3 whole number 4 over 9 became 31 over 9. 5 whole number 1 over 3 became 16 over 3. 2 whole number 3 over 4 became 11 over 4. 5 whole number 9 over 10 became 59 over 10. And we did 10 times 5 plus 9. That resulted to what you can see. And the next, you can see the rest. That's the same thing we did everywhere. Now, in this case, what we have in brackets was now made a single fraction. Made it into a single fraction. Using the butterfly method, you have 3 times 4, 12. And so 4 multiplies 16 and 3 multiplies 11, leading you to this point. And 64 minus 33 is 31. Because you're dividing and you have to use board maths, division comes first. So you end up having 12 over 31 if the division becomes multiplication. I hope it's clear. If it's clear, just give me a comment to show that you're following, and then we'll write on from there. Right, let's move on. We'll sort things out here by eliminating the 31. 31 and 31 will have 31 in common. So here 1 and here 1. The same applies between 12 and 9. 3 goes into 9 to give you 3, and 3 goes into 12 to give you 4. So that leaves you with 4 over 3 plus 59 over 10. In continuation, we have the LCM to be 30. So using your butterfly method, notice that 3 times 10 is 30. So 4 and 10 will multiply, you have 40 plus 3 times 59. That gives you 177. Sort this out. That gives you 217 over 30. 217 over 30 will just leave you with 7 whole number, 7 over 30. So this 7 whole number, 7 over 30. Now let's take number 2, or let's say number 1b. 1b, it's y over y plus 101 is equal to, you have 1 1 over 1 0 0 1 0. They are all in base 2, and we're required to solve and get the answer in base 2. However, the question may have it that you would have to take the result to any base. But in this case, we'll be leaving our answer in base 2. So to go about this, you cross multiply. And that's a straightforward way. Some people say multiply through by the LCM of the denominators, which is not bad. Now by cross multiplying, you have y times 11 times y plus 101. So this is y, we have 1001 y equals 11y. Well, it's base 2, so I'll prefer to call it 1 1. Now plus 11 times 101. Now let's sort this out. And that gives you 101 times 11. You have 101. You also have 101. How did I get it? This one multiplies this one to give you 1, 1 times 0, 1, and 0, 1 times 1 is 1. The same goes with this one, and you follows it. Now add up, you have 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so it gives you 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, y equals 11y plus 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so let's collect like terms, or you collect terms, and in collecting terms, the 11y goes this way to meet its counterpart. You have 1, 0, 1, 0y minus 11y equals 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, let's try subtracting this. You have 100. Now you see it's in base 2. And so if you're going to subtract, in this case, you can't remove 1 from 0. So what you do is you collect 1 from here, and when it goes back, it goes as the base. The base is 2. And so 2 plus 0 is 2 minus 1. The same applies here. So we collect, you take borrow 1 from here, and it remains 0. So you have 2, borrow 1 again. It comes here as 2, borrow 1 again. It comes here as 2. So 2 plus 0 minus 1 is 1. The 1 comes down because 1 minus nothing, and 1 again. And there you go. In other words, we're having 1, 1, 1, 1, y equals 1, 1, 1, 1. Now the coefficient of y is what you have here, 1, 1, 1, 1. You divide through by the 1, 1, 1, 1. So y is equal to 1. So that ends question 1. Number 2 says Abu is twice as old as Olu. 4 years ago, he was 4 times as old as Olu. When will the sum of their ages be 66? All right, in this case, what we want to do is use letters to stand in for their ages. And so I will be letting Abu's age be M and Olu's age N. So here's how it goes. This is number 2. Let Abu's age be M. and Olu's age n. So if that's the case, the first statement says Abu is twice as old as Olu. That means if Abu is M, then Olu will be that means Abu's age is 2 times Olu's age. Next, it says 4 years ago. 4 years ago, Abu was, because you know it's in the past, so Abu was M minus 4, and Olu was N minus 4. That's 4 years ago. And the question says 4 years ago he was 4 times as old as Olu. That means that 4 years ago that Abu was 4 times as old as Olu. Now I mustn't put the times. I can write it out this way. I'll just put the 4 here. And so take note of this equation. Let's call it equation 1. Take note of these 2. Permit me to call it equation 2. And so you have m minus 4 equals 4n minus 16. That's the 4 entered into the bracket, and you have 4 times n, 4n, and 4 times 4, 16. Now, feel free to replace m with 2n. That gives us 2n minus 4 equals 4n minus 16. Collect terms at this point. Collect terms. And you will have 2n minus 4n equals minus 16 plus 4. And the reason why it's like this is because the 4n has a plus here, and so when it leaves the equality sign, it becomes minus. The 4 here has a minus, and it leaves the equality sign to become plus. So it's more like taking their inverses. We call these concepts inverse and identity. And hence, you have minus 2n equals minus 12, because minus 16 plus 4. Here's where a lot of students get it wrong. Most students will say minus 20. And the reason they say that is because they ignore the minus that belongs to 16. The minus belongs to 16. And I would want you to see it this way. Minus is more like you borrowed something. Okay, so if you borrow, it means you're owing. And you went and paid 4. So if you pay 4, you've not paid off your debt. You're still owing. And so on that note, it means you've just offsetted part of the bill. You're still left with minus 12. You're still left with 12 to settle. I hope it's clear. And so we'll continue from there, and we have minus 2n equals minus 12. Divide both sides by the coefficient of n. The coefficient of n happens to be minus 2. And so if I divide both sides by minus 2, yes, you want us to write both sides, but we're still making the statement, the action matters more. So 2n over minus 2 is equals minus 12 over minus 2. So your n is 6. Minus divided by minus is plus. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now, moving on from here, remember m is equal to 2n. M is 2n. And since your n is 6, that means it's 2 times 6, which means your m is 12. Now the question says, when will the sum of their ages be 66? When will the sum of their ages be 66? Now let's take the number of years that we take for the sum of their ages to be 66. Let's take it to be P. Well, some people prefer X, but however, let's P be how long in years it will take. It will take for the sum of their ages to be 66. And so that means M plus P, Abu's age plus the number of years it takes. Then you have N plus P equals 66. Remember, I said P is how long it will take. And so you see, this effect will affect both of them. The number of years will affect both of them because they will both increase in age. And I hope you know age gap is constant. Now, M is 12. N is 6. So 12 plus 6, you have 18. P plus P is 2P, and that's equals 66. Here we have another equation to solve. If you move on from there, you have 2P. You're collecting terms now. 2P is equals 66 minus 18 because the 18 has a plus, not this plus. So if the first sign is plus, you can do without writing it if there's nothing in front again to couple it with. Now, if you move on from here, you have 2P equals the result from 66 minus 18. And if I may ask, what is 66 minus 18? Let me be sure you're following before I write the answer out. We have 2P is equals, okay, so since we're working with time, it's going to be equals 48. You want to divide both sides by 2, this to get the value of P. So you have 2P over 2 is equals 48 over 2. That means P is 24. So the question is, when will the sum of the ages be 66? The sum of the ages will be 66 in 24 years. All right, thank you very much, and see you tomorrow, God's willing. Stay tuned tomorrow, same channel, and then the time will be communicated for those that will be coming on live to be communicating on WhatsApp. Thank you.